mother. But this symbolises to me possibility, because I'm not Lucy Jordan. I haven't ridden through Paris in a sports car in the rain, but I did go to Venice. School magazine was something that influenced me when I was in year 2. From this, I actually formed and produced my first play. No one else was in it, but I was lazy bones, and I did it myself, probably around 6 or 7. Jump cut to the career that I had from that, which was acting. I performed as an actor for many, many years. I travelled the world. I trained both in Sydney and in London. This particular still is from a project where I produced. I wasn't an actor. It seemed I got more work as a producer after I gave up acting. I worked at Film Australia, which is where this project was, and I met lots of mentors. This is a film that I actually produced, but I learned a very good lesson. When you have a film, you need a very good script. This is a beautiful film, but it had a really bad script. In filmmaking, I met a lot of mentors. This particular film allowed me to meet some fabulous people. And then I met David Hannay, who was another mentor of mine. This film was my first feature film credit, so bless David, he gave me that credit. It also allowed me to understand that Hollywood really is funded by some incredible magicians with money, because this film was not made except for someone's contact in Hollywood. I travelled a lot, and this is from Lebanon. I've travelled there a few times, but it actually gave me the first taste of being able to write a script on my own. My experiences there became actually a documentary series. Unfortunately, that was never made, but I transferred it into a master's degree. God knows why. I've also been to Greece quite a lot. This is all for Languedoc. But this was another opportunity where a personal experience actually allowed me to make a film. I made a short film that went into competition in film festivals. It also gave me another into another job, which was I became a member of the Australian Writers Guild after the master's degree. And after many years of writing, suddenly in 2005, I've decided that I'm going to write games material. I'd worked a lot producing interactive games, and this was my opportunity to put that film and game and production expertise together. Why it was launched at a wine bar, I don't know. 2005-2007, as a writer, I was part of the Writers' Festival. Why I'm talking about digital delivery is suddenly I found all these things online like Facebook or Reddit or YouTube or MySpace, and after playing with them, I thought at that time everyone else needed to know about them, and if they were a writer, they could get published. The mobile phone also featured quite large in my experience, because out of this we kept thinking, how can we put films onto phone? So probably around 2006, which predates the other one, but this is where I started working with some fantastic people. The moral of this is you need a great programmer. Once again, it's a bit like a writer. So out of that film and mobiles, I decided that feature films could also be assets and games. This one was actually an interactive DVD game. Another mentor, Mario Andriacchio from the LA Motion Picture Company. Every film we talked about, we wanted to plan where it would go after the film. That film was made, but also this is my property. After working with other people in research and development, I decided to create my own characters and create a whole online and broadcast project. They're my nieces and my cat. You use everything that is close to you. Nothing that I have done has not come out of personal experience. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Had a baby. That was another personal experience. This doesn't require much. Not sharing. They grow and they become small people. Who's over there? But this is the reason that we are now here, which is a view from our farm, which we only just moved from, but that's another story. This then allowed me, I worked much more as a writer remotely in this environment, but I was lucky. I got introduced to Arts OutWest and also became one of the candidates for New South Wales Regional Practitioners Mentorship Scheme that then propelled me to meet a whole lot of people in Sydney. The one thing that I thought is how can I make films here? So I started a digital storytelling hub. Me, myself, I just go into the Seymour Centre, I take photos, I speak to people, and I create little stories in a digital version based on what they've told me. This kind of, in my brain, allowed me to feel brave enough to apply for the Worksworth Exchange Program. This is the wonderful Christine Macmillan and Karen Fasher putting together our show in Wordsworth, and on the background is stills from a production that I'm in the middle of making. So they're my production stills that I would thought would make great artwork. For me, I don't know what the general feeling was. This is a local person that I know, Mrs. McDonald, who was a painter in her early life. So I've started finding interesting people and filming them and interviewing them. And the reason I'm doing that is because it allows me to make a film, but it allows me to tell stories, and it allows me to do it here. So it's all about context. At the same time, I love online stuff. I've had a blog for many, many years, but it's not that interesting. But this is called 100 Mile Music. This is an audio program that I'm also in the middle of making. It's a bit like I've got the website, but I haven't actually got the other stuff in there yet. It's a work in progress, but I would never have done this had I been in context. The big thing that I've learned in my career is about innovation or invention. I innovate a lot. This is my son with a woman who used to write for the school magazine. This is a local writer, a local author, who I also interviewed and is part of my 100 Mile Music, it's part of my project where I'm talking to locals about who they are and what they do. That's Mrs. Nan Hunt. This is the Stanford map shop in London. It has maps on the floor and on the walls and on the ceilings. This is myself, my husband and my son, and actually that just tells us where we're from. We knew where we were from, but at least it kind of says, yeah, this is where we are. It's about place. So my work has always been where I've ended up, who I've met,